Hey now, it's Lil Paulette and I'm back. I'm not going to do a video on the whole episode of the smear KeKe thing. Please share my video, like, comment, and subscribe. But let's get into it. We start off with Kimmy and Maurice and Jalen trying to throw Kimmy and Amin out the house, and Marceau running from him, of course. You know how that is. Scaredy cat, Marceau. And KeKe and them leave, and Mel's outside. Mel and Stormy is outside talking, and Mel is going over all these reasons why, she feel like KeKe, did you do this? Did this happen? Did that happen? Basically, if that didn't happen, why did you throw something? Basically saying that if these triggers didn't happen, my triggers didn't happen to you, then why are you throwing something? Basically, that's what I got from it from Mel. And Mel, you gotta know that her triggers ain't your triggers, girl. Like, we all have some of the same triggers, but we all have different triggers as well. Alright, so KeKe says she through with them. Amin said he been telling KeKe to leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? And they go back into the barbecue, and I really didn't care for the way Mel was windmilling for them and apologizing and checking on them, because I don't see them doing that for her. But I know Mel's personality, and that's just how she is, so that's her. And they start talking, and they start talking about KeKe, of course, and Tiffany brings her old messy behind in there so she can add into the mess, of course. Ugh, I can't take her. I cannot take Tiffany. And Jalen shows up with the Jeep for Kimmy, and she gives Maurice a hug and a kiss, and she's really, really happy, as anybody would be. Yay, Kimmy. But I don't like you, so I really don't care. And what I didn't like was Mel was cheering her on. I ain't see Tisha all happy for her like that. And she pulled off while Mel was still on the car. After her girlfriend got in the car, like, I really did not like that. I don't like you, Kimmy. I don't see Tisha cheering you on at all. But you be having on that snotty cape for her. Just mucus everywhere. Just flying everywhere while you spinning like Wonder Woman. Really, really interesting. Kimmy takes her Jeep for a test drive, and they gonna act like they can't believe she taking the Jeep. Like, you just gave her a new car. I don't care if it's used, it's still her new car. You think she ain't gonna take it for a ride? I would have took it for a ride too. I would have been back, but I would have still took it for a ride around the corner. Ain't no telling. And did y'all see Jalen looking like an old man? What was this outfit this young man got on? He out there looking like somebody's daddy. Sit your butt down. Cousin Courtney came. They told her what happened. She does kind of insinuate that KeKe does have a problem, but not to the extent that they're saying. And she never seen her get hyper violent. Since when is splashing water hyper violent? If this don't sound like a setup to me, Courtney, I'm not feeling you right now. I'm not feeling you. Now, I saw that you were saying that Marceau shouldn't be making fun of her, but never once did you say that she was clean. Only Stormy did. You made it seem like she still did have a problem, and you don't know that for sure. What kind of family are y'all? Y'all snots. Y'all are a trip. That's why people said you had on that Mabel King wig. That's why people was laughing at you saying you had on that Mabel King wig. And I heard that you was on Facebook saying that KeKe was a liar and that she was trying to break up the Snot's marriage. I heard you was. Even though you was windmilling for her on here. But your emotions wasn't like Stormy's. At least we know for sure that Stormy was loving on KeKe. I did not like that That mess that Tiffany said, when somebody have nothing to lose. How dare you say something like that, Tiffany? Who are you to know whether KeKe has something to lose or not? You are always saying something with your Karen energy. You are a Karen. You are a real Karen. You need to be quiet, because you got the most mouth with no hands on the show. The most mouth with no hands. You need to stop. You see how they did you over that monster stuff? And Slow Tisha and Bottom Rosso, y'all keep saying KeKe's a liar, KeKe's lying, KeKe's lying. And KeKe called around asking the dude about something. KeKe didn't call around asking nothing. And even if KeKe did, somebody told her. She was riding for you. You are always acting like everybody's so concerned about your marriage. You act like you married to Michael Jordan or somebody. You married to Bottom Rosso with the big titties. That's who you married to. The same man that you was crying about because he wanted to talk to that lady Kira, and all Kira said was, "Hi, I'm Kira," and you was on the balcony crying, trying to act like Kira was doing something to him. He was the one trying to pursue Kira, and you know it because you saw it. And then you're gonna go tell that story, that untruth, that fable, that she was trying to throw herself at Marcel. For what? His titties are bigger than hers. Why would a woman want a man with bigger titties than his? Your back is bigger than his, so I have to ask the same thing about him. And like Mel said, we don't believe it, Tisha. We don't believe it. Now, Bus could be making it up, but like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire. Hey, your words. And Tisha sits there and co-signs all those lies that Marceau tells. Marceau is trying to make it seem like KeKe was a C-head. Like she's out there breaking into houses and robbing everybody to get the C. And that's not cool. KeKe was addicted to prescription drugs because of an injury, like a lot of Americans. Now, when I went to school for addiction studies in the 90s, I was told that more people were addicted to prescription drugs than any other drug, than any street drug possible. And the reason that they didn't talk about it is because that was mostly suburban white people that were addicted to prescription drugs. Now that the cat is out the bag, you're starting to see more, other people that are addicted to it. But that was in the 90s. It's 2023. And I mean the early 90s, like 91, 92. It's 2023 now. As I told y'all, I'm 52 years old. So that has always been an issue in most of these people's lifetime that is watching the show. Their whole lifetime, that's been an issue. And before that, it was crack cocaine, which is what he's trying to make it seem like she's like in a Tyler Perry movie or something and don't know how to act like the correct symptoms of the correct drug like he does in his movies. No, you don't know what you're talking about, Marcel. You don't know what you're talking about, and you need to be quiet. And OWN and Carlos King, y'all really dropped the ball with this. Y'all really could have had an educational moment with this. You really could have. And Maurice, you could have done better than what you did when Marceau admitted that he said his wife is not a drug head. You know what I'm saying? And then afterwards, you still went in on Stormy saying calling the man is a bitch is a trigger. But you didn't have all that smoke from Marceau. And that's what everybody be talking about. This is why we don't like y'all. We don't like y'all. Ugh. And let me say this. If Marceau was trying to make Amin mad, then why did he run? Only thing I could think of is that he thought that by making Amin mad that it was going to make him check KeKe. But one thing I have to say is this, is that when I am checking a man and my husband is right there, if I am not right, he ain't going to let me go through with it. He going to just pull me away and say something like it ain't worth it. Then he might tell me later. But if I'm right, best and believe I'm going to check him and he going to have my back. He gonna have my back. So at the end of the day, writing a check that my ass can't cash, I don't need to cash it. That's what I got a husband for. He gonna cash it. And trust and believe, he is gonna cash it. So the reason that he's not saying nothing is because he knows that I needed to check that rascal. Or else he would be checking him. And you don't want him to check you. You don't want that. And I also agree with Martell when he said Tisha should have been the one to check Stormy. It's her husband. It's her friend. She should have checked her. I said, don't be calling my husband no B, even if he is one. Like, she didn't have to add it even if he is one, but I mean, in her mind, she could have been thinking that. Even if he is one, don't be calling my husband that. Like, she should have been the one to check Stormy, not Marceau. Because by Marceau checking Stormy or calling himself checking Stormy, he looked just like what she said he was. A big old sassy so-so. Sassy so-so. And all of that, a woman and a man stuff. No. The only man that Stormy don't have to call a B is her husband. That's it. So I'm sorry, Kimmy, and I'm sorry, Maurice, but I'm not sorry because all of that, had a perceived thing he needed to protect his wife from. No, did what he was supposed to do. Ain't no not defending wrong. You defending wrong right now. If his wife needed to say something, he felt like that his wife needed to say it, then they needed to say it. Then Marceau shouldn't have been running. Now I don't hear you saying nothing right now to Marceau after he said what he said, but that's cool though, to call her a drug head. It's cool for them to do all the things that they do, but when somebody get out of line to y'all, then y'all want to come in like y'all the the politically correct police. No, you don't get to decide. Girl, you better learn how to say to first before you tell anybody something. And Tisha, you better learn how to say text before you decide to tell anybody something. To test. Fuck out of here. And I'm so glad Stormy did not apologize. No, she don't owe him no apology. First of all, after Tisha said it, he started throwing more jabs. She didn't know. Basically, like he said earlier, you used to hearing that. You used to being called a B. You used to calling each other B's. That's regular for you. So he was basically saying she was low class from the other side of the tracks, ghetto, like he said about you, Tisha. So I'm so glad. Do not apologize to him, Stormy. Do not apologize. So Martell's at the gym with Coach Thomas, and Courtney comes, then Chris comes, and Coach Thomas is there, and he is an older white guy, and he works them out. When I tell you he works them out, I need to hire Coach Thomas. Coach Thomas, do you come to Maryland? Do you travel? Because you look like you can get a sister together, okay? So, after he works them out, Martell asks Courtney what did Stormy tell him about KeKe throwing the water, and Martell and Chris tell Courtney how she was real wet, how she was soaked, and they was laughing about it. And Courtney said, what did Marceau say? And Martell was like, he think he was shot. But then Martell gonna say how him and Amin got into it, talking about it was about to be a fight. It was not about to be no fight, Martell. Why you didn't tell the truth and say Marceau was running? It was not about to be no fight. Amin was moving furniture and Marceau was running. I know y'all laughing about that, Courtney. I know you puffing on an L and you rewinding that and laughing your asses off. Tell me the truth, Stormy. Tell me the truth, Stormy. Y'all laughing, ain't y'all? I know you are. Because I know KeKe and them was laughing. I know that you are. But anyway, so Martell's supposed to have been training Courtney to lose some weight and, get beefed up or whatever. And Chris says, have you ever had a conversation with Marceau, just telling them, like, look, I don't play like that. Basically this is what it is. And he said no, and he need to do that. But he not going to do it at black. It's going to have to be, some equal ground. And Chris is basically like, after you say what it is. If he still act like that, then you gotta handle it like men. And I'm guessing that mean what? Put the pause on him, Chris. Now he got permission that if Marcel keep acting up, now he can put them paws on Marcel. We'll see. Y'all know Marcel ain't gonna change. He just gonna act like he don't know them, like he said before. Okay, so then they talk about them being cousins or maybe being cousins, and how Stormy has suggested that they get a DNA test because they from the same small town, Rotana, something like that. And they gonna get a DNA test so they can see how they are related. I know they don't look alike, guys, but people don't have to look alike to be related. They can be your brother and sister, and y'all don't have to look nothing alike. You know, you can look like somebody in your family way down the line, or a cousin that you never even met before. So loved when Martell tried to throw that man stuff out again, and Courtney said, nah, she be alright, because like I said, if your husband agree with you, he is not going to check you. He is going to have your back. So, like I said, Courtney said, nah, she be alright. He be picking with her. So, yeah, he co-signing it. Again, the only man she got to worry about talking to like that is her husband. Other men, they not off limits. Especially somebody like Marcel. Marcel get to say and do whatever he want. Him and Tisha. And the second somebody check Tisha, she crying. And the second he get checked, he acting like a baby too. If y'all don't go ahead, everybody not gonna coddle them like that, like you do, Martell. You let Marceau say all kind of stuff to you, do all kind of stuff to you, and then you be right back skinning and grinning in his face. Mel done told you over and over again. You just found out again last episode, and look where you at, skinning and grinning in his face. Just say, here go my back, stab me in it. And ladies, do you know that we live in a patriarchy? I can't even say it. Patriarchy. I've been smoking, y'all. Do you know that we live in a patriarchy? Do you know that there are countries where children have their mother and their father's last name? Do you know that there are husbands in this country that take their wife's name as well when their wife hyphenates their name? The only reason why people think that there's something wrong with it is because of patriarchy. Patriarchy has taught you that a man's name is more important than a woman's name. How is his name more important than your father's name or your mother's name? How? I don't get it. There's nothing wrong with, like when Dusty didn't want to take LeBaric's name, there was nothing wrong with her not taking his name. Just like there's nothing wrong with her taking his name. There's nothing wrong with that. Haven't y'all ever seen Spanish people from Spanish countries that have two last names? It's not because it's hyphenated, because they're not hyphenated. It's because it's their mom's last name and their dad's last name, and their mom's last name goes first. And there are countries where children only have the mother's last name. You know why? Because the mother is the only parent that they know for sure is the parent. So it makes sense. So it's not more important. And I'm going to say this, my husband's last name is not more important than my last name. It's just not. They're equally important. Patriarchy has taught us that his name is more important and that you belong to him like property. And you do not. And that is because this country is built on capitalism and colonialism, money and slavery. Y'all better get with it. So again, it's nothing wrong with her taking his name, and it's nothing wrong with her not taking his name, and it's nothing wrong with him being called by her last name, just like it's nothing wrong with him being called. Nothing wrong with her being called. Y'all know what I'm saying. Each other's last name. I just said the same thing over again, but you know what I mean. So Chris said to Martell, you know. What you been doing? Martell said, you know what I've been doing. Chris said, you ain't at that house yet. Martell talking about he got 20 something more days. Boy, if you don't get out that damn man house, he said he don't care where you go. If you go in the mountains with Mel, Atlanta with Sheree, or around the corner on the south side with coleslaw. Just get up out of his house. Bye. I don't blame you, Chris. Y'all see Martell's fake laugh? So KeKe and I mean are at the storage unit. Y'all know KeKe just moved into a new house. So they're getting a couple of things. And KeKe and I mean are talking about the move. And KeKe is concerned because they basically moved for the oldest son, who is an exceptional athlete. And she's concerned how it's going to affect the rest of the family. Mel calls and asks can she come by. Mel comes by and they tease her about helping. Mel says she was dressed for the occasion, accidentally on purpose. And they start talking about what happened. And KeKe feels bad about what happened. Mel says she kind of missed it because she kind of saw the after effect. Then she kind of says that Marcel got in it to defend Tisha after the water was thrown on her, and she knows that would do the same thing from what she saw. And that's not true, because that's what Marcel may have told you, but that's not how it happened. After it happened, he just sat there and told Tisha to be calm. He ran up to Kimmy for Kimmy to assist. He hyped Kimmy up to try to get Kimmy to jump on KeKe. That's what Marcel was doing. He wasn't trying to do nothing. And then he called KeKe names. That is when got into it, when he was saying drug test her ass, call the police on her motherfucking ass and drug test her. That's what he said. And then he added in later that he said my wife's not a drug head, but that's not what I heard. Funny. So they start talking about Mel stayed afterwards, and they was talking about how they hated that it got like that, and Tisha said she like and said no she don't, and Mel turned her head. That shit was funny. I had to get a picture of that. And face fake, phony, liars. KeKe says she treated terribly. KeKe says she's treated terribly since they first started dating. Mel said, no, come on, y'all. Stop lying. Mel, you know how they are, girl. Talking about, I'm really mad about how it turned out. I really like That must be her liar voice, girl. Basically, said that's fake. Mel said that's not accurate. So Mel asked them, have they talked to them? And KeKe said, absolutely not. No desire to. So KeKe says she's in anger management, and she just started, and she wished that there was a way that she could stop herself when she feels like doing the things that she did. But she did splash water. And I've watched plenty of reality shows where they picked up a glass and threw the drink on the person, and she splashed it on the person. I seen Stormy and Destiny with the chair. Miss Van said that Maurice sucker punched Martell during that fight. Wanda was chasing after Mel behind her. Like, since when is splashing water this big offense? I don't like it. I don't like the way that it's being portrayed. It's so funny that Tisha and Marcel keep saying that KeKe is lying, but they haven't proved anything, talking about she's mad because she got busted. No, we can see right through the deflection and the projection that you're doing. Now everybody's talking about KeKe, but not what you did or possibly did. Because, again, Bugs is a liar, so who knows if you even did anything, because he's a big-ass liar. So Melly Mel says that she want to prove to them that she is clean, that KeKe is clean, and KeKe is on her game, etc., and that she should take a test, and she brought one. Now, the only problem I have with that, I don't think Mel had ill intentions. I feel like this is something that should have been done with the clinic that KeKe goes to. I know that if you go to a methadone clinic, they will give you paperwork if you request it, because certain institutions may request it, such as probation, social services, or things like that, to show that you have been going and you have been clean. Also, I feel like Mel could have went to the clinic with her, and they could have had an episode of her getting her dose. They could have done it that way. They could have had the doctor speak about addiction. I really feel like they dropped the ball with this one. They let Marceau and Tisha tease people about addictions, and this probably triggered a whole bunch of people, because I don't believe that there's one person in America that doesn't know anybody that isn't affected by addiction. I don't believe that. So I believe that this probably got a lot of people upset that you allowed them to do this. You didn't put nothing up on the screen to say that those views are different from yours or own, or if you have a problem, call this number, and this is nothing to joke about. Like, you could even say that at the end, although they were doing that, addiction is nothing to joke about. Y'all didn't do any of that stuff. Y'all let them do that. And then I heard on the reunion, y'all still tried to blame KeKe when y'all knew what was going on. And this is why y'all keep losing viewers. I really believe that. You keep losing viewers because of the snots. And let's just say this, KeKe carried the whole season. KeKe carried the season. If it wasn't for KeKe being on there, it was just going to be dull. It was going to be terrible. And it ain't because of the snots. It's because we like KeKe. And we was going to ride for her, because we already knew what y'all was going to do. We saw the smear campaign last season. We saw it coming. And then we got the warnings. So everything just really fit in the puzzle. Everything AL told us, everything Sassy T told us is coming true. Sassy T from the 803, that's my sister. Another Leo content creator that I love, that is my sister. Everything she said was true. Everything. Golly. The snots. Alright, y'all, so that's the end of that. I want to thank y'all for rocking with me and staying to the end of the video. Don't forget to hit the like button, comment, share the video, and subscribe. Thank y'all. Gang, gang. Peace.